Yo, what's up guys? The Insane Game Freak here to bring you kind of a quick video. I know there's been this huge rumor going around that Boku no Hero Academia is only going to be 13 episodes. I can safely say after watching the first episode, that is not true. I can't see how that could be true. And I'm going to give you a few reasonings why. It's not really spoilers because I'm not going to talk about anything hugely plot spoilery, just kind of talking about stuff in general. So let's go over some of the things. If you rewatch the opening, there's a particular character that shows up in that opening that is your first clue that this can't be just 13 episodes. The dude with the hand on his face. I'm not gonna really explain him, but for the manga fans, you know that's Shigaraki Tomura. Where he appears in the manga is like chapter 13, I think. So that's when he appears. So I don't know if that's specifically the date. I mean, that's specifically the chapter he appears, but that's like the main. No, he appears in chapter 11. So even going off of that logic, the first time he shows up is in chapter 11. Well, by that logic, considering he's a part of that first villain-related arc, that shit goes until chapter 21 in the manga. Well, I don't see the point of throwing him in the opening if he's not even going to be in the opening. There's no point in doing that. The other problem is that chapters, if we're going by the logic that they're doing 13 episodes, first off, the opening is the first issue, is that you show the villain that shows up literally right after the point where people think it would stop. The second issue is that this first episode only covers like a little bit over half of chapter 1. If you were going to do chapter 2, if you were going to do a chapter per episode and get to chapter 13 on episode 13, well, you've already fucked that up because I know at least half of next week will be the rest of chapter 1, if not all of it. It may just be fucking all of it. The other problem is that if you were to stop the anime on some of you might be thinking, well, maybe they're just trying to stretch out certain episodes so they can get at the end of chapter 12 or some shit. Well, none of those episodes really work as the first chapter. It also wouldn't make sense because the opening, once again, would be a huge lie in that sense. What I specifically mean is that the opening shows off every character fighting, or at least showing off the main class that Izuku's in. Well, ironically enough, they do fight in that first arc that comes from chapter, I think, 13 to fucking 21. That would be where I would think the opening is pulling from, which means but some of you are still going, well, it's chapter 21, that's not going to be a full 24 episodes. Well, they can do what they're doing essentially here. Some episodes may just stretch over the double chapters. Remember, the first chapter of almost every manga is longer than the average chapter, especially for Shonen Jump titles, because they use that first chapter to introduce the world and the characters, pretty much setting up like a first major like the introductory confrontation along with the main characters and maybe the themes of the show. This episode only covered about half of that. So, and then honestly, looking at the chapter and looking at what they had to work with, because another hand is the fact that they showed the opening and ending. Usually, first episodes, especially if Shonen Jump titles, don't do that. Especially newer ones, they don't do that. Actually, just in general, a lot of first episodes don't show the opening and ending. You might hear the opening in the end of the anime. That's about the best I've seen. This show decided to show me the opening and ending. And granted, looking at the time that they wasted on the opening and ending, they wouldn't have had enough time to cover everything. So they were just like, fuck it. That's besides the point. I can see this going to episode 24 because now you've stretched out chapter 1 to at least cover 2 episodes worth of material. Now, granted, chapter 2 in the manga is nothing but a damn training chapter, so I can see that being blazed through. Really, it just depends on how they handle next week. If next week is just the rest of chapter 1, or if next week is chapter 1 and chapter 2. Like, they just stretch out episodes to get that 24 episode mark. So the first thing is that the episode is stretched out. There is no real ending place for chapter 11 or 12 to end the anime, because chapter 12 is a fucking... Actually, in retrospect, chapter 12 could be treated as an OVA. That's how inconsequential. Well, it's not completely inconsequential, but it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. Chapter 12 is like I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really like, it feels like a fucking OVA chapter. So it wouldn't surprise me if that got thrown out. But still, you couldn't end it on that, and then it wouldn't make sense to show all the heroes and that villain, specifically that villain. They even show him doing what he ends up doing in his introduction in that arc. So I don't think that's the case personally. That's just me though. So my major points of contention, to just kind of go over everything, is that I don't think this will probably be 24. Now, granted, 21 isn't like the perfect ending chapter, really, because the problem with 21, although it does end the shit with Mr. Hands on his face, it also pretty much sets up the fucking, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it sets up a new arc in like the last page. Now they have two options there. They could just cut it out, or just pretty much use it as a tease for, yeah, you're getting a season 2, just not right now, kind of shit. Because it's enough, like, the manga has 80-something chapters, and this is only going to go up to probably around the 20s. They have enough material to do another fucking anime adaptation. But if they want to do what they do with Gintama, which is animate a chunk, wait probably like a year or half a year, and then animate another chunk, that probably will work out better. Especially because if I remember right, isn't it Bones who's doing this? Bones usually doesn't do ongoing series. So it makes more sense for them to do a split up series. At least that's how I perceive it. But I can most definitely say this will be more than 13 episodes. I can't see this being, I don't think it'll go past 24. But I'm pretty sure it won't be 13. It can't be 13. That opening tells you too damn much. And the fact that the first episode doesn't even finish the first chapter tells me too damn much. And the fact that and the fact that there is no good ending place in chapters like 11, 12, or 13 to fucking end the anime on is another reason. So those are my 3 reasons. So for those who are curious, and for those who disagree, leave it in the comment section below. I would put more effort into this video, like actually showing footage and shit. But let's be fucking honest, by the time this gets out, it'll probably be fully revealed pretty soon anyway. So I just wanted to get this out here and let people know who may or may not be freaking out. Also, side note, Funimation, I look forward to the dub for this, but I hate the fact that for whatever reason, I can't watch just a simulcast of it. The simulcast is now locked to subscriptions. Well, I'm glad One Piece isn't. It's like I'm happy that Funimation got the rights because that means we'll get a dub for it and it'll get pushed even further. And I'm glad Funimation got a series that's worth a damn in recent years. I'm not saying they haven't. I'm just saying this is one of the only. This and they'll probably get Attack on Titan season 2 in the summer, which also means that this thing will probably go all the way until like fall of this year. So we'll probably be watching this like for 2 damn seasons, which is awesome because I fucking like this show. I love this show. But yeah, Funimation, why you do this? Now I gotta wait until the box set comes out because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch it on Funimation site, and they were like, "You have to be a subscriber, so I gotta pay you to watch simulcast." Granted, that's not that too different from what Crunchyroll does, but Crunchyroll has a bigger catalog. And well, actually, they probably don't. Whatever, it's fine. Whatever. This has been the Zen Game for Life's a Game. Way to win. Tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, side note, I like the episode. Cool episode. Like the animation. I like how they kind of capture the weird, janky style that he does for his comedy scenes. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.